based on three-phase alternator. Okay. So already in the previous class we discussed about the regulation of three-phase alternator by different methods. Already we discussed about EMF method, MOF method, and the ZPF method. So in these three methods we know how to produce the EMF of the alternator from open circuit test. Okay. So after conducting the open circuit test, we are having the voltage, induced voltage in the alternator terminal. So now we are going to take this voltage and given into the various type of loads and we find the regulation of the individual load. Okay. So first thing we are going to use the inductive load, and after that we are going to use resistive load, then we are going to use capacitive load. So why we are going to use these three loads? So in a very basic manner, so we are well known about that three type of elements will be available in the electrical terminology. One is resistance, inductance and capacitance. So all these three combinations were together or individually working in the all electrical circuits and networks itself. Okay. Here also we are having the same. So in this table inbuilt we are having resistive load. So these switches are used for resistive load. Here we are giving the alternate terminal R by B. Then we are going to switch on individual switches, and each and individual load we are going to measure the voltage and the current. Okay. Then after that, after the maximum current reach, we are going to switch off individual switches. We are going to disconnect this terminal. Then second load is we are having capacity load. In this capacity load also similar, it has variable capacitor point. So each and every switches having the rating of 0.5 amperes, 1 amperes and 2 amperes. So we have three terminals here. We are going to connect the alternator R phase, Y phase, B phase to this terminal, and we are going to switch on the individual switches. For each switching, we are going to measure the voltage and the current. Okay. This is for capacitor loading, which is similar to the inductive loading also. Here we have three terminals R, Y, B. We are going to take the alternator three terminal to here, and we are going to rotate this inductive load, and we are going to measure the voltage. Okay. So the only one difference is for resistive load generally applicable for unity power factor. Then inductive load generally applicable for lagging power factor, and the capacity load generally applicable for leading power factor. Okay. So while applying your resistive load, the alternator voltage differs from no load to full load, which is very minimum difference will be there. For example, so if your alternator voltage is 400 volt when applying your resistive load, then after applying the maximum resistive load, the voltage is deviated from 400 to 360, 370 like that. Only 30 volt will be dropping, normally occurring when we are applying the resistive load. But in the case of inductive load, it tracks more power and it reduces more voltages. So the regulation of this when we are applying the inductive load, which is much higher when compared to your resistive load. Okay. But in the case of capacitive load, when we are going to apply the load gradually, so your voltage will be additionally added. Your load voltage is 400 volt. So for this capacitive load, so while adding the capacitance, the reactance voltage drop will be added to the alternator supply voltage, so that your capacitance alternator voltage when loading condition, which is more than the no load condition, so that this capacitance giving the negative regulation, and also your inductive loading tracks power, and the reactance will be separated from the no load voltage, so that it will be a lagging power factor condition. So this will give the positive regulation, and the unity power factor, the resistive load is nothing but unity power factor, which gives the negative regulation only, the positive regulation only. Okay. So this is the procedure for three-phase alternator. Now I am going to run this alternator and do the only one loading. Okay. So now I am going to switch on my DPSC switch. So after switching on, I am going to start the prime mover using 3-point starter. So after fixing prime mover. I'm going to adjust the prime mover field rheostat and I fix it to 1500 RPM. Okay, after that DKST, after that start the machine using the first start. Now vary your field rheostat of the prime mover and fix your speed as 1500 RPM. And after that we are going to apply the field rheostat to the maximum. In order that we are achieving the generated voltage at 400 volt. So I will change this voltage to 400. So after fixing your voltage to 400 volt, now I am going to closing the switch to the load terminal. So now I am going to apply the load gradually. In this load ammeter shows the variation of load current. So you have to be careful while operating your load. Then you should not go behind your rated current. This is more important. So now I am going to apply the load current. So the meter will be varying. So the meter is varying for each applying load. You are going to measuring the generated voltage and as well as the load current. Okay. So this will be recorded in the tabulation. So I think generator voltage will be varied accordingly. Okay. So this is the procedure for load test on 3-phase alternator. Now we will check in the tabulation. Tabular column. Initially you have to measure the no load voltage per phase. Per phase it will be 230 volt. Line voltage it will be 400 volt, which is directly measuring from the meter. So here we are going to use 3 type of load: resistive load, inductive load and capacitive load. Then each load you are going to measure the each loading current and terminal voltage. So from this reading you are going to measure from your observation, and also we know the value of no load voltage, we know the loaded voltage. Difference in these two will give the regulation of the particular load. Similarly, the same procedure will be repeated for inductive load and capacitive load. For this resistive load, the regulation comes to the about 30%, and the inductive load, which is also here 30 to 40%, but in the capacitive load it will be much more, because the regular voltage, terminal voltage will be 430, which is more than your normal voltage. Okay. And after completed your tabular column, draw your graph. So the graph normally drawn between your terminal voltage versus load current for individual load. Okay. For capacitive load, the terminal voltage will be higher, resistive load almost to the your rated voltage, and inductive load which is much lesser than your resistive load. So this graph indicated the variation of load versus terminal voltage condition. Okay. So thank you for listening.